Good morning, students. Today we are going to read about very interesting personality, that is about the Ishwarchan Vidyasagar, a great teacher. This is the lesson number 8 in your reader textbook. So today we are going to read about Ishwarchan Vidyasagar. First of all, it's very important that you should know about who was Ishwarchan Vidyasagar. Actually, Ishwarchan Vidyasagar was a great social reformer, writer and educationist. He worked endlessly to transform the society. His contribution towards education and changing the status of women in India is remarkable. In fact, Rabindranath Tagore called him the father of modern Bengali literature. Ishwarchan Vidyasagar, he was a great social reformer. He was a writer also and the educationist also. Educationist means who used to impart the knowledge, who used to tell the people about the right and wrong, as in who used to spread the knowledge. And he worked endlessly, means wholeheartedly, totally, to transform the society, to change the society, and basically he worked for the improvement of the status of women in India. And in this, he achieved a remarkable achievement in this. In fact, Rabindranath Tagore just called him the father of modern Bengali literature also. Rabindranath Tagore called him what? Father of modern Bengali literature. Okay? Ishwarchan Vidyasagar was born on 26 September 1820. Ishwarchan Vidyasagar, he born on 26 September 1820 in a village of West Bengal. He spent his childhood in extreme poverty. He spent his childhood in the extreme poverty means, extreme means that is a very severe poverty, means they were poor. At the age of 8, he became to Calcutta. He came to Calcutta, that is Kolkata, where his father took up the job of bookkeeper. Okay, so at the age of 8 means when he was just 8 years old, his father along with his family, they came to Calcutta and there he started the job of bookkeeper. Vidyasagar, it is said, learned the English numbers from the milestones he crossed while walking to Calcutta from his village. So he learned the English numbers from the, means just for learning the English numbers he has to walk for a milestones, means he has to cover a long distance to learn the English numbers from his village to the Kolkata. In 1829 he joined the Sanskrit college. His desire to learn was so intense. Intense means that is extreme force, means he was so eager, okay, that for some nights he studied under the street lamp. You can imagine that how he was keen just to learn anything, that so many nights he spent under the street lamp to learn, as his parents could not afford a kerosene lamp at home. You can just imagine the poverty that his parents, they were not able to afford a kerosene lamp also at home. So what he used to do, he used to study under the street lamps. In 1839 he passed the Hindu law examination. In 1839 he passed the Hindu law examination, and that was when he was honored with the Pandit in the in the Fort William College. And at that time he was honored with the, in 1839 he passed the Hindu law examination and there he was honored with the title of Vidyasagar. which means the ocean of knowledge. Okay, so Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, he got this title from the after passing this Hindu law examination, and they honored him with this title, that is Vidyasagar, which means the ocean of knowledge. This is very important. Okay, his first job was the chief Pandit in the Fort William College, Calcutta, in 1841 at the age of 21. It was here that he started learning English and Hindi, and at the age of 21 in 1841 he got his first job as the chief Pandit in the Fort William College, and it was here, and when he joined there he started learning English and Hindi. In 1846, Vidyasagar joined the Sanskrit College as an assistant secretary. Then in 1846, he joined this college as an assistant secretary, and he wanted to improve the teaching system in the college, but faced a stiff opposition from the management. So in 1846, when Vidyasagar he joined the Sanskrit College as an assistant secretary, he wanted, in fact he tried a lot to improve the teaching system in the college, but just for to bring this change, he had to face a stiff opposition. Stiff means severe, very hard, severe opposition from the management of the college. So he quit his job, and that's why he quit his job, means he left that job and rejoined the Fort William College, and again he went back to that Fort William College. In 1850 he became a professor at the Sanskrit College. Then again in 1850 he became a professor at the Sanskrit College on a condition that he would be allowed to redesign the education system. And when again in 1850 he joined that same college, he became the professor of a Sanskrit, and in addition to that, and in fact he joined that college only on the condition that he would change, he is going to be allowed, he is going to get the permission to change the redesign, to change that prevailing education system. In 1851 he became the principal of the college. Then in 1851 he became the principal of that college. He was a great teacher. He was a great teacher and believed in practicing what he preached, and he believed strongly in what he teach, what he practiced, what he has preached. There is an interesting incident that proves the point. A young man got down at Havra railway station and started shouting for a porter. He did not have much luggage and could have easily carried it himself. One day what happened, that a young man, he got down at the Havra railway station and started shouting for a porter, means somebody just to carry that his luggage. He did not have much luggage, even he don't have much luggage, but then also he was shouting he needs somebody. A simple looking man approached him and asked, where do you have to go? Then at the same time a simple looking man, he came there and asked him that where you want to go. The young man had come to Calcutta for some training at a college. Then this young man, he said that I came here for some training at a college. He told the old man his destination, and to the old man he told his destination. Destination means the place where he wants to go. The later here, this word is being referred to whom? To that old man who came there and asked that young man. The later picked up his luggage and they walked to the place. which was nearby. The young man offered him some money for his service, but the other man said, I do not want any money for my work. And that old man, he just took his luggage and they reached to their destination where that young man he wants to go. And after reaching his point, that young man he offered some money to this old man, but this old man he said that I don't want money for my work. From now onwards, you should try to do your own work and not depend upon others. And what he gave him advice, that from now you should do your own work and you should not depend on others for your work. That will be my reward. And he said that is going to be my reward. Then he left, and by saying this, that old man he left that station. The next day, now just tell me that could you do any guessing that who was that old man? Actually, that old man was Ishwarchand Vidyasagar. The next day, when the young man reached the college, he found the same man sitting in the principal's chair. Now see the coincidence, that the next day when that young man he reached the college, he saw that the same man he was sitting on the principal's chair. In shock, he fell at the feet of the principal. And what that young man has done, this young man who was shouting on the platform, isn't that he needs somebody to help to carry his luggage, then he fell at the feet of the principal. He apologized and asked for forgiveness. So he apologized for his mistake, for his fault, and asked for the forgiveness. This principal was Ishwarchand Vidyasagar. And who was that man? That is Ishwarchand Vidyasagar. And he said to the young man, no work is lowly. We should do our own work. He gave the young man the lesson of a lifetime. And what he said? He said that no work is lowly. Okay? Lowly means that is nothing is inferior. None of the work is inferior. Everyone is having the importance of their own work. Okay? Whether he is sitting in an office or he was just doing a work on the platform. Okay? So no work is lowly means none of the work is superior or nothing is inferior. Only the thing matters that you should do your work properly, sincerely and honestly. Okay? So it's a very big lesson that Ishwarchand Vidyasagar gave to that man, that we should do our own work. We should not depend on others. Isn't? Until and unless that work should be beyond your reach. So everyone should be self-reliant, should be independent in their work. Always we should try to do our work with own. Okay? So this is the message which we learned from this lesson. So what you have to do today, after watching this video, you have to once again go through this chapter. If you found any problem or any kind of doubt, you can ask. So thank you and have a good day.